I am just gonna tell you, before you decide to go full-time, before you decide, now I am a Capricorn, so one could always do better. My toxic trait. I'm kind of cold, so is it okay if I just put this on real quick? I was shooting some content and I'm like, okay, this room is kind of cold, so we're gonna get cozy. Basically, I moved to New York almost in March will be 9 years, and I really set my sights. Now, I used to work at Mac. I wanted to become a trainer, and I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. And then when my personal goals changed and I decided, like, you know, I think I want to, you know, I want to leave Mac, I want to, you know, be freelance. It was very scary because everybody was like, don't leave in the fall because winter time you're not gonna make no money. Don't leave in the summertime because everybody is going vacation and you're not gonna make any money, you're not gonna have any jobs. Oh, and don't leave in the beginning of the year because the beginning of the year is slow. And I'm just like, well, what do you ask? So when I leave, when do I leave? What do I do? You know? So it was very, very hard, and it was very, very like discouraging in a way. And I like realistic, like I give me realistic advice, but also like it was almost like, damn, can I thrive as a creator, as a makeup artist? So this is kind of twofold. I'm gonna be sharing how I left my job. I guess maybe we'll see what the title is gonna be, but I made some notes. So, you know, before we get into it, don't forget, subscribe. And of course, also, for those of you who have been following me for a while, maybe this is the first time, I have a podcast, and that also has a lot of great advice. But anyways, so let's get into it. So the first thing that you have to ask yourself is, what do you want? Right now, you don't always have to have it figured out, but when I was deciding to leave Mac, I was like, all right, maybe I want to work at NARS. I was like, I'm gonna show how much they pay because it's closer to my house, I could get to the city. Like, you want to find different things that you might do in the meantime. Or if you have to do what you have to do to make your goals happen, to make your dreams happen, do it, right? Now, one thing for me is when I was leaving, I didn't know exactly what direction I wanted to go. So I took assisting jobs for TV and film. Not so much in film. I don't really like film. But the TV stuff, like I started to assist for that. And I was like, all right, maybe I'll get my feet wet and try that. So I was really figuring out what I wanted. Now, if you are trying to figure out your content creation, you know, trajectory, maybe you might say like, all right, what do you want? What do you want out of this? You just want to be popular on TikTok? Do you just want to blow up on YouTube? A lot of people find their groove and they stick with it and they run in that lane. It doesn't matter what the platform is. Do I want to be a makeup creator? Do I want to be lifestyle? You don't, like I said, you don't have to have it figured out, but you have to have some type of first step, first direction in order to kind of point you in somewhere. You have to know every single piece of income. You have to know where your money is coming. Number 3, look into your 401k. When I was leaving my job, I read this book because when I came to New York, it wasn't a situation where I knew about taxes. In Trinidad, we don't really operate like that. We don't have like a credit system. So I read this book, The Money Book for the Young, Broke, and Fabulous by Susie Orman, and I love this book. I learned so much. I read it so fast, and I don't know, I just became obsessed with finances. I was like, I'm gonna have an 800 credit score, which I have now. I just felt like I needed to know everything about finances. So 401ks, if you have a 401k, check and see if they're doing matching. If they're doing matching, go ahead and do that and see how much you can inch up, maybe by 1%, maybe a certain amount. Just inch up every time so you can really max out while you're there. Whatever they're giving you, max it out. If you have great insurance, go do what you gotta do. Get your teeth clean, do what you have to do. I had amazing insurance when I worked at the airport. Now, it wasn't just Mac, it was another company, a franchise that owned the company, but I had really great insurance. I did all the things that I had to do. I went to the chiropractor, girl. I was getting all my acupuncture done. I was living my best life, okay? So make sure that you capitalize on your 401k and whatever additional benefits that you have at your current job. Now, the next thing is you want to make a list. Now, you know what? I'm actually going to find this list for you guys. Hold on. Oh my God. I think this thing is going to make me cry. So when I say make a list, so This is my old planner. I always keep my planners. It's the passion planner from 2016. And I think, oh my God, I made a list called the Master To-Do List. And I'm just gonna share some of it. So, find a dermatologist, money towards Lottie's class. We'll talk about that. Money towards Paris, life savings, check value of camera, get a credit card option, get eyes checked, Tom Ford foundations that I didn't check off because I couldn't justify spending $300, an investment account, order my portfolio, go to the dentist, put aside $100 for networking, money for Christmas, money for hair, photo doctor, hair mannequin, second outfit, leather jacket, like anything that you could think of that's gonna cost money, whether it's trivial, whether it's whatever it is, make a master list. Because when you are a full-time creator and you're really getting into like, all right, I gotta make sure I have these deals, I have to make sure my money is paid, you're not really spending money frivolously. You're not just gonna go to Sephora and spend $500 because new stuff is out. You're not doing that. So when you have a paycheck that's consistent, you might want to be like, oh, let me buy jeans from Topshop. You know what I mean? Like, you just want to go shopping. So I wrote every single thing that I can think of that I wanted, boots, whatever it is, I wrote it down because I was like, when I leave, I'm not going to be spending money on these things. I'm not going to be able to justify it. Now, that's just me. That's just me. And then also, oh my God, career. I made a goal list. Leave Mac, freelance, Paris Fashion Week, Milan Fashion Week, 3 agency assistant list, assist Lottie, travel for business to an amazing place, attend business class, be published in 2 magazines. I had free time, museums, parks. So this is also, I know we're talking about getting into free, but I also made some personal goals. Friends and family, call family members weekly, social media, product photos, shoot at YouTube studios. Like, I got something on Periscope here, that's crazy. Body and health, like I wrote down every single thing. So when I say make a list, write down what you want, write down your goals, write down things that you need, and really figure, sorry, that was loud, and really figure out, hey, these are the things that I want. These are the, maybe there's equipment that you need, there's something that you need that you want. Make a list. Now, if you have made it this far in the video, I appreciate it. Now, I'm gonna lay it all out, right? I really want you guys to get to your goals, whatever it is. And for me, I am really happy that you stumbled across this video because I know that if it helps one person, it has done its job. So continue listening and we're getting into number 5. So number 5, we're going to create a separate savings. Now, we're gonna create a separate savings. So you have your expenses, emergencies, and savings, right? So for me, I decided when I was going to leave my job, I was like, all right, if I'm gonna go full-time freelance, I am going to have to separate money in my head. Now, I always felt like I was never really good at saving money. I had to put like on my vision board, I love saving money, like literally. And now I do. I love it. I love it. I love investing too, but that's another conversation. So I was just like, what is going on? Like, I can't just save this money. So I just had to compartmentalize it, because when you are a freelancer and you need to pay your bills, it gotta come from somewhere, anywhere, whatever. So for me, what I did is I started to save money. And this is not just, there's savings, there's savings, there's emergencies, and then there's living. Okay, so savings, this is not meant to be spent. Emergencies is actually for emergencies. And then this little nest right here I started to build because I was like, okay, this is where my rent and my bills are going to come out from. That is what I'm going to start saving. I named it, I opened a different savings account in my Bank of America, and then I named it the next level. I was like, all right, this is the next level, like just to motivate me, because you can change your little thing in the app or whatever. So this was where I was saving that money. So when I knew I was leaving, I'm like, all right, you have 4 or 5 months or whatever, however long, you have this amount of money put aside. So you know, all right, if I leave my job in April, at least April, May, June, July rent paid. So if I don't work a lot, at least I know these things are taken care of. Now, of course, the goal with that is to continue to get bookings, so you're not really just draining this account out. Now, by, you know, in reality, things don't always go as you plan, so you might have to like go and get a little part-time job. Like I mentioned earlier, I was taking, you know, part-time jobs on counters and stuff because I was just like, I don't want to drain this account. Like, so I'm gonna take as much hours as it is throughout the month, whether how much days or hours it comes up to, so I can just pay my rent. So I don't care. I need to do what I need to do. I'm gonna just make sure my rent is taken care of. Whatever assistant jobs, whatever jobs that I take, that will help me take care of other things and not really, you know, deplete this account till like I'm just like, oh shit, if I don't work, I'm in big trouble, right? So next, this is my favorite one. This is my favorite one. Listen, I hope you guys still listening. Okay, so you have to, well, you don't have to, but I would suggest you use apps. I am a huge, when I tell you huge fan, I've been using some of these since 2016. 2016 and this 2021, and these apps really help me with saving and also like just having money put aside. Now we'll talk about first Digit. Digit was the first one that I used. This is a very safe app. And if you can always do your research on them. So I started to do Digit. Digit, you can have different accounts in there. I have my emergency accounts in Digit, and I feel like I don't want to make this too long about all these apps because I can go, trust me, I could go in on them. But Digit, you can have different accounts in there. I like Digit because they take the money out fast compared to Capital, which I'll get into next. But I keep my I keep my emergencies fund in there, and then any other little things. Like I have like a tip jar, because there was this app that I used to use and then they closed the app down. So like if I want money, like if I do something and I want to tip myself, like sometimes just like, oh, 20 bucks here, so I have guilt-free spending. You can literally make up whatever you want, you know. You can make up like a particular goal, or account could not have a goal. But I love using Digit because it just kind of like, when I go into my bank, this is separate and it's not to be touched, but if I need to touch it, it's there and I'm not going to be penalized for it. Now the next one is Capital, and I absolutely love Capital. Capital actually saved my ass. So like Capital saved me. So the first time I started using Capital, Capital will take your money. So you might want to make sure these apps have overdraft protection. So they will put money in your account if they notice your account is going low, but if it's not, they will just take the money. Or no, actually they don't take the money. If they realize you don't have enough, they won't take, and they'll pause your savings. But with Capital, one thing I don't like about it is that sometimes it takes a little while, like it may take an extra day or two to take the money out. But what I love about Capital is that there is a freelancer rule in there. So Digit is not as, I feel like Digit is not as like technologically smart, I guess. I don't know what the correct term is right now, but it's not advanced in its coding, I guess. So in Capital, you can set more rules. So if you want to like have guilty pleasure, like your guilty pleasure is getting a Starbucks, or I don't know, and every time you go to Starbucks you save $5. When you go to Starbucks, you're not thinking, oh, I'm going to Starbucks, so it's extra $5. You're not thinking about that. So it can do those cool little fun things. And then you could also set up like health goals, like pair it with your watch or your phone. If you exercise, you save $10. But what I love the most is the freelancer goal. So the freelancer goal, or the freelancer kind of deduction, is every time a certain amount of money hits your account, 30% comes out. Now you can choose what that amount is, whether it's 100, whether it's 250, whether it's 500, whatever you want it to be. But what is cool is that when it first pulls the money out of your bank, you could always go in and cancel it if you're like, oh shit, I didn't mean for you to take that, give me my money back. So, and then you could always move money, you know, to and from. But what happened is that it saved me because it was taking some money out and I was like, where did my money go? And then I'm like, oh, it went to Capital, whatever, I'll just leave it in there, right? And then my taxes came and I was like, ah, this is so much, like I'm not ready for this life. And when I went into my Capital, it literally had the amount of money I needed, but like it was off like $400. And I was just like, wow, Like if I did not have this app set up, I'll be in shit pretty much. So I have been using this diligently. Whether you're delinquent and you sometimes, you know, do your taxes late, I highly suggest getting into, whether you're a makeup freelancer, content creator, freelancer, whatever it is, to put aside money for your taxes, 30%. And this is also why you need to be charging proper rates. Inflation is up, and also you have to think about 30% of your rate. So 30% is not even your money, that is the government money, you know what I mean? That's another conversation we'll talk about. If you guys want me to talk about rates and stuff, we could absolutely do. But I feel like I have a video on that on my channel. But so the next one, use apps. So I use Digit and Capital diligently. I love Clio as well. Clio is another app that I use, but that one, it does a few things. I think they give you cash advances and stuff, but I don't use all that stuff. I like that they can give you a bird's eye view. So they quiz you every week, like, you've been spending a lot of money this week. What's going on? And I'll pop some of it here, and then they'll tell you spent 51.32 on something. What did you spend it on? So it kind of just makes you more cognizant of where your money is going and how you're spending your money. And I really appreciate that. And then you can kind of type in and be like, what's my income for 2022? What's my income for 2021? What has my like expenses been for Uber or whatever? So you can see certain things instead of like going through your bank statement. I really love Clio actually. Okay, so this is the last one, number 7. You are going to have to put the work in. That's it. That's the tip. You're gonna have to put the work in. You've done the money part. You have some type of, okay, I have some type of like calm, some type of assurance that I'm gonna be okay. But remember that this is a ongoing business. You're going to have to network. You're going to have to work on your social. You're going to have to pay for classes. I was literally writing down in this book, you're going to have to pay for Lottie's class. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to do that. The first thing that I did when I moved to New York was I paid for a business class. So it's a matter of investing in yourself. Do you have respect for yourself in order to be able to say, you know what, I'm gonna spend some money and put behind this because I really want this. I don't want to just sit down and everybody just give me everything. That's not how life works. You know what I mean? So and it's an issue. I feel like a lot of my friends sometimes, and I don't know if it's just sometimes a younger crowd or whoever, but they'll just be like, hey, I need a vendor for, this is not my situation, but they'll be like, oh, I saw that you posted, like, can you send me your vendor? And it's just like, what? Like, what? That is crazy. But basically what I wrote here, because I've been planning to do this video, I said over the years, some of you have seen me come and go on YouTube because I was just investing my energy into different places, and that gives me different rewards, right? If you want to just be on YouTube because you want to succeed and thrive on YouTube, do YouTube. I was investing my energy into my career, networking, you know, writing down, working with photographers, coming up with mood boards, pitching, reaching out to agencies, reaching out to artists, reaching out to my whoever it is. I was constantly investing my energy into what I wanted and then refining it every year so I'm able to grow. And for me, you know, just to wrap this up, I think that, you know, now it's kind of like, it's very interesting because social media it's never going to go away, but it's changing, and anybody can get on social, but not everybody knows how to negotiate. Not everybody knows how to send an email, which is a video that someone actually just requested, and I'm going to probably do it next week. But people don't know how to communicate sometimes. They don't know how to follow up. They don't know how to say thank you. They don't know how to say thank you. And all of that is important for running a business. You know what I mean? It's not just about, oh, I get good jobs now. Okay, you get good jobs, but are you going to continue getting those jobs? Are you showing love to your fellow peers that look out for you? Are you like sending thank you notes? Are you not a note per se, but like, are you telling people thank you? And there's a lot of people, I think there's a photographer that also is a Capricorn, and she's like, that is my biggest pet peeve, and it's also mine, because when I look back on my planners and all these things, it was just like, you invest so much, and it's like sometimes you want to make sure that if you are putting yourself out there, or if you are like going out of your way to to hire someone or to make sure someone is hired or whatever. You don't know what happens behind the scenes. And I talk to a lot of my friends in like PR, in brands, production. Like, it's not always easy, especially as a Black creative, to get into certain spaces. So you really can't take it for granted when you are in a room. You know what I mean? And not to say you have to go around like, oh, I'm so grateful to be here. It's not that at all. But you just have to make sure that you are being mindful of the people who are around you and who are looking out for you. But that is it for this video. I hope this was helpful. I didn't want to make it too long. There's so much more that I can share. I am going to be more on YouTube this year, but I'm going to continue sharing as I evolve this year on this channel. I hope you guys kind of like come along with me, and I'm always open to ideas. So if you have anything that you want to know about this industry, I would say first go look on my podcast and see if there's an episode, because there is so much content on there, and I have spoken to so many other artists. It's not just about me. I've spoken to artists that you may not probably know, but you can learn a lot from. And then I've spoken to artists that you probably watch and admire, like Danielle Martin, and so many others. So I will talk to you guys in the next video. I really appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much for subscribing and commenting, and check me out on all your other platforms, because your girl is out here. Okay, she out here. All right, I'll talk to you guys. Bye.